It's 2:59 here now in Malaysia. So meaning it's almost close to the time that we're supposed to meet in Laos in Cambodia. The one more minute, then we shall start. Hello, Pawan. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you too.
What time is it now there?
10 in the morning.
In the morning. Wow. Okay. Hope you had your breakfast.
Good morning from Cambodia. I'm
Hello.
Moodle, from National University of Management, Nom in Phnom Penh.
How are you?
We are doing well, and it's good news from Malaysia yesterday.
Oh yeah, okay. We just shared with you the LOC, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's good news for Cambodian people as a whole. Well, yeah,
That's great. That's great.
right, yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, let me see. The participation, there's about 32 already, and it's 3 here in Malaysia, meaning it's 2 exactly in Cambodia. Am I right?
Yeah, in Cambodia 2 o'clock.
Okay, lovely. So we're supposed to start at 2, therefore, let's just begin, yeah? Okay, for those who just joined us, welcome everyone. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. Okay, I shall mute most of the participants who just joined as we're gonna give a briefing first of all before we begin with the sharing session, yeah? Okay, it's recording. Let me just share with you the slide. Okay, I hope you can see this. Okay. All right. There you go. I believe everybody can see this screen, yeah? You can always respond by pressing the icon, or if you want to say something, feel free to do so. So warm greetings and a very good afternoon, everyone. It's morning in Estonia, at 10 in the morning for Pawan. On behalf of the organizing team under the DXC project, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to today's webinar entitled Practical Insights into Moodle, e-support and instructional design. So we are pleased to have your participation this afternoon, whether you are joining from Laos, Cambodia, Malaysia, or anywhere else in the region, yeah? This webinar is actually part of our continuous effort to support digital transformation in higher education. And we are truly excited to bring together, we have educators, instructional designers, non-academic as well, who's eager to explore practical strategies and tools that can enhance our teaching and learning practices. So I'm Zaliha Abdullah. Alongside, I have two of my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Pawan, in Estonia at the moment, who will bring a valuable perspective on e-support from the Estonian context. And we will have Associate Prof. Dr. Nora Shikin, who will delve into practical tools to increase engagement through Moodle, or learning management system. Okay, before we begin, please fill the form to receive your e-certificate for participation. Yeah, it's free. You will get such a certification. All you have to do is to click on this link, the form. I have also shared earlier in the chat section. Please have a look. You can click on that form, fill in all the information, and automatically you will get this certificate of participation. So I'm going to give you a bit like 5 minutes for you to fill in. Let me share again, yeah, the link at the chat section. If any of you are not able to access the link or you can't see the link, let me know, yeah? I've given few links actually, the XC website link, and then we have our Facebook link, the webinar materials, whatever, what do you call slide we're sharing today. We have uploaded them in the link given, the number 3. And finally, number 4 is for you to get your e-certificate, but you have to fill in the form first, yeah?
Excuse me, I cannot access to the form.
You can't access the form?
I cannot receive the form to fill in.
At the chat section, let me paste again. Hold on. Let me just paste again, yeah. If you go to the chat section, okay, you will see that I have shared, I think, about 4 links. The form that we want you to fill in is the one number 4, e-certificate. Okay. So the rest is actually some of the information where I shall highlight later in my slide, but I'm sharing with you the links ahead of time, yeah, before I get into what we're going to share later. So once you fill in that e-certificate form, you will be getting the e-certificate via your email. Not to worry, if you don't get it now, I shall share it again at the end of the session. Thank you, admin. Done. Okay, so back to sharing my slide again. Okay, like I've mentioned just now, once you have filled in the, what do you call, form, the Google form, yeah, you will be getting, for example, such certificate as I've shown here on the slide, yeah. So please add in your the name of your institution in full. Okay, I shall continue because the most important point and parts is actually where 2 of my colleagues going to share in a bit. Okay, so before we move further into today's sharing, I would like to take this opportunity to warmly welcome our new partners, yeah, under the EDLAN initiative. EDLAN stands for the Euro-Asia Digital Learning Network. So some of you might not be EDLAN members since this sharing session is open to all. I'm just letting you know that EDLAN is actually an initiative that originates from DXC project, also known as Accelerating Digital Transformation for Higher Education in Southeast Asia. So for those unfamiliar, those who are not DXC members, those who are also not EDLAN members, like open participants just now, you can learn more about this impactful project by visiting our website there, yeah, dxc.co. dxc.co, yeah. So you will get more information on what we have. And at the moment, these are all 11 partners of DXC. We have UHK, short form, yeah, Riga University, Tanlin, University of Lisboa, Granada, UTM Malaysia, University Malaysia Sabah. There's 2 Malaysian universities. We have ITC Cambodia, yeah, UHST and UOL, and finally Savanakert University. So this is the founding members. Once we are the DXC members, we continue to become the EDLAN members as well. Okay. Again, we're excited to welcome, our new partners from Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia. We have Indonesia this time and Czech Republic. Most of you who have received your digitally signed letters of collaboration or LOC, that's fine, but I think 3 members are still pending, and we're waiting a response from the University of Hardik Kralov as the coordinator for this Atlan network. We will email your documents once we receive them. Yeah, for your information, at the moment, our European partners are on summer holiday until September, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Pawan. So I've sent Savannakert Technical and Vocational College, Institute of Zalsombath Technology, and finally Universitas Negeri Jakarta, Indonesia. So 3 of you, I believe, have not yet received the digitally signed LOC. Like I've said, once we receive it from our coordinator, which is the University of Harlik Karlov in Czech Republic, we will share you the LOC. But please take note, membership is only formalized once we receive 2 hard copies of the LOC with your original ink signature. So kindly hand them to the contact person liaising with you. I believe most of our Cambodian partners, you liaise yourself with ITC, yeah? So maybe you should get in touch back with them and they will forward the LOC sign to us later in October. So for those who have submitted, thank you very much. Okay, if you look at this slide, here are some photos from our DXC gatherings, a glimpse of the great moments we hope to recreate under Adlan after this. So we look forward to hosting more webinars in the future. If you miss any recording, okay, it is all available on our website. Do explore the website later. And beyond webinars, we also welcome collaboration, be it joint research, speaking engagements, or training sessions. So let's continue building this network together. We're open to ideas and future partnership. Just reach out to us, yeah. So with that, I actually think, before that, yeah, I want to share with you also some of the other than just now, we have plenty of resources. We have published multiple articles, developed 3 modules in 3 languages for your information, and provided open educational resources ready for anyone to download. The languages for the modules, as you can see, we have digital leadership module and so forth. It is in English, Khmer, and Laotian language. So for today webinars also, the materials are already uploaded. So you can click this site when you go to oer.dxc.co. You'll find numbers of materials which we continue to upload. There are more that we shall upload later. And all the materials are accessible for free. You can click on it and get, even today's sharing from there, yeah? And if you're planning to apply for international grants like DXC is under Erasmus Plus grant, yeah. One of our members, Professor Nordin, he's the pioneer of the application. He had experience, and we can get you connected to him for assistance. So just let us know. So what's next for Edlan members? We're excited to invite you to our upcoming event in October. We're going to organize this global conference on digital transformation in higher education. That's going to be on 27 until 28, 2 days of conference. You can visit our Facebook. More information will be shared there. So the theme is redefining possibilities in the digital transformation era. So it is still about digital transformation. For your information, all the XC members will attend in person, face to face, while others, we are welcoming you to join online. We will share the link and so forth when closing to the date. Yeah, you'll have the chance to listen to research presentation and connect with peers driving digital change across the region. So we hope to see you in October online for non-DXC members, even for Adlan members. Yeah. With this, thank you for joining us today. We hope you will gain new insight and practical knowledge from this session. If you have any further questions or would like to connect, please feel free to email us anytime. And now I shall hand the session over to Pawan, who will begin today's sharing. Are you ready, Pawan?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Zach. I hope I am clearly audible, and welcome all of the esteemed speakers and participants to this online seminar that we are having today. And my name is Dr. Pawan Dutt. I'm from Tallinn University of Technology in Estonia. We are one of the Dixie partners under this project. And well, as leaders of this particular segment, it was our duty to prepare a manual on the Moodle language management system and the learning management system. So this is something that we have been working on for quite some time. Allow me to please share my screen, and here we are. Okay. Well, I hope you can see my screen. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see now. Yeah.
Thank you. In this
Okay.
particular presentation, I will be talking about Module B and the digital infrastructure, learning management systems, and instructional design aspects. This is just a small little introduction to something that we have dealt with, and I will talk more about this particular layout and what we have tried to achieve in this particular module B. This is just one part of my presentation. The second part will be on the e-learning standards that have been adopted in the European universities and what can be learned from this particular aspect. I would also like to state that there will be another seminar online which will be organized in August. You will be getting more information about that from Zach as well later on. In that, we will take things a bit more further and we will try to come up with more advanced e-learning standards which would be applicable for not only European but also Southeast Asian universities, and which would take into account the peculiar and particular requirements of different cultural aspects. So, coming today, first of all, now to this module B, I would like to introduce you to this particular booklet that we have. It's more like a manual that we have prepared. It's about 220 pages. The main primary contributors were from Estonia and then from the Czech Republic. You, as I understand, have access to this material in English and also in local languages. So hopefully this can help deal with various aspects of e-learning and e-teaching. If you look at the table of content, of course, this is a mix of both theoretical and practical aspects and guidelines. We talk about the need for e-learning and digital teaching methods. We must also keep in mind that there are two aspects over here which are looming quite heavily on us. It is the advancement of artificial intelligence, AI, and its impact on teaching across the broad spectrum of all our daily activities. Now, whether we are a university of technology, engineering, natural sciences, soft sciences, whatever it may be, what is important to keep in mind is that e-learning and digital teaching is here now for good. The great impetus for this particular mode of training and teaching online came, of course, during the coronavirus years. But if you were to go back a bit, well, I've been in Estonia for 17 years now, and I've been teaching for more than 15 years. And it was in around 2010, so that would be almost 15 years ago now, that Moodle was first introduced in our university. It was subsequently made compulsory. Initially, there was yeah, some compensation, some monetary consolation, some sort of prizes that were given to encourage the teaching staff and the academic staff to teach using Moodle. But then it more and more became a compulsion. It was, of course, a wise move because during the coronavirus pandemic, when the teaching activities were severely disrupted, along with many other activities in our daily lives, it was then realized that digital teaching has a lot of pros to it, and it has a lot of helpful aspects which can be useful for us. We must also remember that we are teaching a generation of students who are immersed in digital technologies. They are very different from our generations. And well, I have to admit, I am 50 years old. So a lot of things have changed in the last few decades. But the youth that we are dealing with and involved with in teaching and transferring knowledge are very different from us in this regard. They are very comfortable with information communication technologies. They were born in this particular phase where almost everybody has a computer or a smartphone. And so a lot of the teaching needs to take into account some of these aspects. Of course, there is still the context of the theoretical aspects of teaching, and this is something which is tried to be integrated with the LMS systems that we will be talking about. And when we talk about digital infrastructure, infrastructure design, infrastructure education, and the learning management systems, there are certain unifying factors, introductory factors that are mentioned in over here in a very easily readable format. So the chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 talk about these particular issues from a theoretical aspect. What's very important to keep in mind, and of course, today's talk that I'm giving is not so much about how to use Moodle or any other LMS. These are aspects that most of us are already aware of. What we have to be careful about are what is laid out under chapter 4, basically technical challenges. Number one, because we are looking at a situation where students can access their learning material online, can attend the classes online, can learn and exercise their capabilities online, also perhaps do exams online, as well as receive grades and feedback online. What this could mean is the course may be 50% or maybe even 100% online with very minimal contact between the instructor and the student. This gives rise to various challenges. Some of them are technical in nature, some of them are ethical in nature, and some of them are a mix of both. When you have the possibility to engage with somebody online at almost 100% rate, it also gives rise to various challenges. And these are some of the issues that we talk about in chapter 4. But the most important takeaway is user adoption and engagement. It is very important that the Moodle course or any other LMS course that you design is user friendly. And this is a very important pivotal change. It should not be something which is comfortable for us as instructors, but rather something which is comfortable for the students as users. This is a huge challenge which we will talk about. Another aspect to also keep in mind is under chapter 4.3, security and data privacy concerns. Now, this is something that is very relevant in the European context, especially because of a lot of digital legal changes that have occurred in the last 5, 6 years. We are talking about the Digital Single Market Act. We're talking about the Artificial Intelligence Act. We are talking about the Data Act. And these are just 3 or 4 of almost 10 new laws that have come across the European Union, which deal with various issues concerning security and data privacy concerns online. As a part of the Dixie project, it is also our endeavor to help our Asian partners to explore how some of these legal challenges are becoming more and more relevant globally and also in the Southeast Asian context. I will talk a bit more about this in the second presentation on e-learning standards. So under chapter 5, we have different instructional design models. Again, very theoretical. We look at a lot of aspects. This particular part has been provided graciously by our Czech experts from the Czech Republic. And as you can see, maybe there are some contexts which are immediately recognizable, especially Bloom's taxonomy. The challenge has been to introduce these theoretical aspects in the digital sphere of things. Under chapter 6, we have best practices that we talk about. Again, you should remember that this is a European context, and the challenge is to see how it can be adopted into the Southeast Asian context. I must stress over here that this project is not about imposing European values on our Asian partners. That is not the intention. Rather, the intention is to talk about the experiences that we have gained in the European Union and to share them with our Asian partners so that together we can both learn more about how to challenge ourselves and our students in this increasingly digital atmosphere and climate. So accordingly, you have chapter 7. Now I will talk a bit about chapters 8, 9, and 10 for the next 10-15 minutes. And well, we'll talk about the introduction to Moodle. This starts from page 67 onwards. Then we talk about e-support resources from page 117 onwards, and then e-support activities from page 137 onwards. At the end of this, I will then talk more about e-learning standards once we have established the requirements under Moodle and what are the key elements that should be considered while creating a Moodle course. Going on to page 67 and the introduction, if you can just bear with me, I will talk very briefly about some of the elements that go into making a successful Moodle course program and how we can learn more aspects about these particular issues. So when we talk about Moodle, why has Moodle been chosen? It is one of the most preferred systems that is utilized in the European and I believe also Malaysian context. As I understand, in Laos and Cambodia as well, Moodle has been introduced and is being utilized, especially in most of the public universities. And there are, of course, other LMS programs as well. So we are not trying to say that one is better than the other, but we are focusing on Moodle because this is something that we have used in the European Union for several years now, more than a decade actually. So when we talk about introduction to Moodle, we talk about an e-support or an e-course, and this requires a paradigm shift. It is not just about putting up some PDF files or making some material accessible to students, but rather it is about envisaging how we can teach everything online, but it covers various aspects. The course organizational side, which is a very challenging aspect because it has to be user friendly. As educators, this is an element that very often we tend to forget. Then there is the issue of uploading of learning materials. This brings a lot of challenges in the European context because of the relentless use of various legal aspects such as digital copyright. It is now very difficult to just upload whatever online. It is recommended to only upload things which you have created yourself or things for which you have a license. Now, most public universities do have a license for making available certain databases and materials to their students. We have access to some of these very world renowned as well as very expensive databases. And of course, the challenge then is to make sure that whatever is shared in the Moodle environment is legally compliant with the digital copyright issues. And that's why learning materials have to be uploaded in a thoughtful manner. Also, very important is self reflection. And this is a situation whereby a student who acquires knowledge is able to utilize that knowledge to test herself or himself, either with an online quiz or other online activities. And it's very important that this should be coupled with adequate feedback. Now, this is, of course, the broad outline of Moodle. And a lot of these things are known to all of us. So I will not spend too much time on going over each and every detail. I'm sure most of you can access the material to understand what are the key requirements. There are certain issues that should be dealt with, and these are, for example, making adequate information available to students. Number two, the information should be changed as minimally as possible. What that means is once something has been put up and the information has been sent to the students through the Moodle system, then for the next 3 or 4 months, there should be as few changes, or if possible, no changes at all, which means that you cannot, as an instructor, add any new elements to what has been already been informed to the students in a previous occasion, on a previous occasion. So it is very important to introduce the course to make sure that the course is also linked not only to the Moodle system, but also to your university's respective student portal, whereby the students have access to not only learning materials, but other university related data as well. This is a very important integration, and I will talk more about this in the second part of my presentation. Along with a normal syllabus, it's also important to provide students with complete information as far as possible in as detailed manner as possible so that there is no scope for confusion at all. These are some of the requirements that are mentioned in Moodle in this manual. We also talk about the importance of feedback and the requirement that feedback should be provided to every student. Now, if you have a class of 20 students or 200 students, that is not material anymore. It is very important that every student should be made to feel that she or he is valued and is um, fully understood and their concerns are addressed 100%. Now, these are some of the challenges that come up. When we look at the Moodle manual that I have presented before you right now, I mean, some of these things are very basic and simple, but if you read them carefully, you will see that there are certain aspects which are more dealing with context of what is user friendliness, whether it is the size of the font, whether it is the color, whether it is about a pop-up, or whether it is something which comes through the system. However it is all recommended over here. It's also about optimization of web viewing. Also keep in mind that based on the Dixie project, we had conducted a survey with the help of University of Grenada, whereby various Southeast Asian partner countries and their institutions were surveyed. And it was found that a lot of students focus more on using smartphones rather than computers or laptops, which means that your Moodle program has to be designed in a smartphone slash mobile friendly manner. Now, user friendliness is the key over here. It also encourages you to consider technical aspects, digital aspects, everything in the context of what is available to the student and how she or he can access and participate in your course online. This participation can be presumed to be 100%, in which case user friendliness is the key criteria, the key takeaway to concentrate on over here. This introduction also talks about what sort of video tools can be used, whether pre-existing websites like YouTube can be utilized, whether universities should invest in more expensive, personalized e-learning studios or recording facilities. Well, this is, of course, an issue which also brings into account the cost factor and how much will your university be willing to spend on these sort of scenarios. With the self-reflection tool, the basic criteria to remember is how do you interact with a student or make a student learn something if you're not going to meet that student on a regular basis. So whatever happens, happens online. And in this case, it is something which, first of all, in a cultural context, is now in writing. It is there on the screen. It is not something which you can walk out of or get away from. A student can take a screenshot. A student can tell that this is what was told to her 3 months ago, and you cannot step back and say that you have changed your mind. So remember that Moodle goes both ways. It is a tool that can make your life very comfortable, but it is also a tool that can make you responsible for your actions as an educator. When it comes to feedback, it is very important to give balanced feedback. When you set up grades, it is very important, as laid down over here, to make sure that the grading system is adequately informed to the students. If you use a simple grading system or weighted grades, then it has to be clarified. If there is going to be any chance of a grading system whereby there can be negative marks or students can be penalized for their mistakes or shortcomings, then these have to be mentioned and clarified with the students in the very beginning. And this message has to be reiterated every time without changes from your side. Teachers' announcements are another very key element of the LMS system. It is possible for you as an instructor to have a communication channel with your students, which can be 24/7, um, all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course, this can lead to a lot of fatigue on the side of the instructor as well as the student. But the students are young and they have more energy than us. So you have to be very careful about making sure that this communication channel that you have on Moodle, this two-way channel that is possible, is controlled and kept under a certain guideline as such, but the requirements should be adequately informed to the students as well. Also covered here is how can somebody enroll to Moodle? And well, this is laid down over here. Enrollment is a very essential aspect because number one, it guides how your interaction with the users will be. And enrollment also has legal implications because only a student, a genuine student, should have access to your Moodle course. Some instructors, of course, also have public Moodle courses. Other universities stress more on a private Moodle course. Well, there are a lot of legal implications that come up in both of these situations, and we talk about that in the second presentation as well. When we talk about Moodle course settings, how can you edit it? Well, it's all available here as well. And if you look at some of the keywords like format or languages or groups or roles, it is all about user friendliness. I keep on stressing upon this word all the time. You have to think from the student's viewpoint, not from the instructor's viewpoint alone. Put yourself in the shoes of the student and how she or he would feel if they were to go through the experience of using your Moodle course. So these are the aspects which are mentioned in this particular introductory as chapter 8, and you can see more about it here as well. There are certain changes that have taken place, and I will talk about them as well. Lastly, of course, there is the course reset. At the end of the course, what do you do? Well, how do you manage situations? There's a lot of data that has been uploaded by the students and by you, and you have to be careful. The press of the button can result in all this data being erased, and this can have serious consequences for you as an instructor and for the student. And so these are some of the aspects to also keep in mind over here. Then we go on to chapter 9, which talks about e-course resources, how to upload a file, a page, a URL, and a label. So these are mentioned in clear-cut ways. Again, the stress is on making sure that students have access to the material without having to purchase any special software. This is especially problematic if you are dealing with economics, statistics, or technology intensive courses where there are various software that are specialist softwares which are required for students. And you have to make sure that you understand and the students understand that what they have in Moodle enables any ordinary user who uses a usual computer or smartphone to access material without any need for purchasing specialized software. In chapter 10, we talk about various activities in the form of a forum whereby you can ask or answer questions. Hopefully, between contact hours, as an instructor, you also have a life, and it should be a very good balance between work and personal life. Assignments can make your life as an instructor very easy, especially if you have guidelines which are very detailed and also deadlines. But assignments can also have a very serious impact on a student's grade. And so assignments and the next quizzes are the cause of the most amount of friction between the instructor and the student. So please pay more attention on this part, as well as the grade book and the feedback. Well, again, as I had mentioned, this was just an initial introduction to this particular aspect of the Moodle manual that we have prepared. Um, Let me see, are there any questions specific as such? There is, of course, also possibility for a more detailed question and answer scenario later on. But having spoken about the manual, I would encourage all of you to go through it. It is available in English and as well as in your respective languages for the partners from Malaysia, Laos, and Cambodia. Now, having spoken about this particular aspect, we have seen so far the requirements of digital e-learning. We have looked at the theoretical background to education. We have looked at LMS models and their possibilities of integration with digital learning mechanisms and environments. We have also looked at the Moodle system, the Moodle LMS, and under chapters 8, 9, and 10, we have explored the key elements of how to utilize Moodle in an effective manner. But this is just part of the whole story. Creating a Moodle course, uploading material online, making provisions for online assignments and quizzes is not the end of the story. This is a very basic requirement that every instructor, every lecturer, every professor has to follow. But now comes the next part, which is about e-learning standards of TALTEC. This is a presentation that I will now make here. If you just bear with me. Okay, just a second. Slideshow. And so now I hope you can see my next presentation, which is on e-learning standards developed by TALTEC Educational Technology Center. Well, it is over here. I must also inform you that, well, I'm a senior lecturer in the TALTEC Law School, and we are the law department in the University of Technology, and we teach our students about digital legal requirements and digital laws. My doctoral studies were focused on, of course, intellectual property rights, trademarks, patents, copyrights, and designs, and also the social systems approach, whereby cultural, economic, social, strategic, motivational, and legal aspects are considered when we look at digital intellectual property aspects. Now, when you combine that with teaching, you will see that this next presentation is a combination of several different areas. So, the main aspect is e learning and the utilization of digital technology tools is a given aspect now. The e learning environment is used 100% to support studies. And of course, when we look at this requirement, there are legal as well as technical requirements that come into the picture over here. When we look at the e-learning environment, and now this is something that has resulted in the creation of standards. And well, I've spoken with my colleagues in the Czech Republic, in in Spain, and in Portugal, and they informed me that their universities at present do not have strict e-learning standards as such. Well, we will talk about e-learning standards and one of the outcomes of this presentation, and hopefully the presentation in August will be to consider certain keywords when it comes to e-learning standards and how universities can implement such standardization so as to make sure that the instructors are made aware of their duties. Talking about duties and responsibilities, in Taltech, Tallinn University of Technology for short, the requirement for the e-learning environment is on the head of the department. The program director has the responsibility to monitor all of these courses and to report to the head of the department. The head of the department has to report to the Educational Technology Center, which comes under the office of the Vice Rector of Student Affairs. So as you can see over here, this is a very structured environment. The basic level, that is e-learning standard 1 and 2 levels, these are compulsory as of the year 2020-2021. So in Taltech, we have had almost 5 years of experience now in this particular aspect. So stages 1 and stages 2 are now compulsory. So when we look at the e-learning standard, this particular standard has been designed so as to make sure that instructors and students fully understand and appreciate each other's needs and requirements. There is a lot of impetus on how instructors deal with Moodle and also what are their responsibilities and duties and a few of their rights. When we talk about e-support, there are organizational aspects, again with the context of user friendliness to keep in mind, the type of learning materials that can be utilized, the scope of self-assessment tools, and the depth of feedback opportunities. It has to be a two-way communication channel, which means instructors have to communicate with students, and students have the right to communicate with instructors and with each other, all within the secure Moodle system. It's also important that the university's information system or student portal is combined with the Moodle program so that whatever interaction takes place between the instructor and the students within the Moodle environment is also controlled by the university through the use of its own information and student portal system. This brings forward a lot of technical challenges as well as legal requirements that we will also be looking at shortly. So you can look at some of the material. I have put up some links. You can also directly click on the particular words, or you can look at the sources at the back in the bibliography. The development plan of TALTEC 2020 talks about this e-support system, which is mandatory at the first and second level study programs. In our university, we have bachelor, master, doctoral, and postdoctoral programs. So, as a public university, you can see how this envisages the entire spectrum of higher education in the Estonian and European context. So, number one is the level one basic level minimum e support course that every instructor is expected to have. And this is something that their Moodle program, Moodle course is expected to follow. So there are the basic e-support requirements, description, introduction, links, course descriptions, comprehensive structure, feedback, lecture notes, possibilities for various opportunities for learners to test or submit assignments, to display learning options, have messages, and answer student questions. Level 2 is a bit more complicated than level 1. It includes level 1 components and more conditions are required. Level 2 quality label application round means that the education technology department is actively involved in how your Moodle course can be labeled as a level 2 advanced level course. So here, the parties involved are no longer just the department and the students. You now have the vice rector and senior administration of the university who are involved in how the Moodle course is presented. This is level 2, advanced level, and there are a lot of requirements as you can see over here. This is for advanced instructors as well. I would say this is not something that a very young instructor should be getting into. This is somebody with more than 3+ years of experience as a teacher. It is very important that such an instructor is familiar with key technologies, be they technical technologies, terminologies, or administrative terminologies, or marketing terminologies, whatever. The instructor should have the necessary prerequisites and skills, and also must ensure that learners have these skills already to be able to access and understand what is being taught and presented in the Moodle course. The learning materials and activities have to correspond to the course volume. So if it is certain ECTS, you have the equivalent of their academic hours. And so if it is 6 ECTS, for example, you have to make sure that 100+ academic hours are dedicated and the student has adequate material, both in terms of volume and also content wise and depth, so that this is justifiable as a level 2 advanced level Moodle course. This cannot comprise of very basic education material. This has to be full-fledged advanced material, enough to perhaps also justify 100% e-online course. The schedule has to be planned out and followed without any alterations. Technical and pedagogical support has to be made available to the student, either via the instructor or a specialized education technologies department. Assessments are very important in the level 2 advanced level Moodle course, and there's a lot of requirement given and importance given to the assessment criteria. It has to be systematic, and also it has to be comprehensive. Learning materials have to be uploaded, made present, not just text or images or animation, but even audio and video, etc. The learning materials should also adhere to good practices in creating digital learning materials, and the technological tools should be adequate as well. There is also the requirement under copyright law that if you are using learning material created by other authors, then they have to be properly referenced. Technical aspects and structure, of course, under the level 2 program require that the course should be well structured and user friendly. It should be technically functional, and there should be a possibility for a feedback survey. Remember that a level 2 advanced level Moodle course will be labeled as such by the Education Technology Center of your university. And this label has to be renewed after every 3 years. Now we come to the most advanced level, which is level 3, the Taltech Digital E-course. It comprises not only of levels 1 and 2, but it deals with 100% online training. But now comes another aspect. The students have to rate your particular Moodle course as well as your teaching methodologies online and the teaching technologies online. And the course rating should be more than 4 points. The maximum is 5 points in our university. And so what this means is you now have not only to create a Moodle course, which is highly advanced, which utilizes all technological measures, which is technically available in the context of a 100% online course, which can be now advanced online, MOOC or LOC, but also it has to be extremely highly rated by your students. And that is a level 3 course. Here you can see some aspects of level 1, 2, and 3. So these are outlined over here. Just to make certain aspects sure, X is mandatory and O is optional. So you can see over here in the level 1 course, level 2 course, what is mandatory and what is optional. In the level 3 course, everything is mandatory. So this is something to keep in mind over here. And well, having spoken about all this, I would now talk a bit about future outlook. As I mentioned to you, I have a legal background. Secondly, there's a lot of legal changes that are happening in the context of not only the digital world, but also e-learning. And so there have been some elements that have been introduced. Now from autumn 2025, that is from September of this year, Moodle will be integrated with our university's student portal system. What that means is the university will now have a bigger say in what is made available to the students. Only a genuine student of the university who is registered in the university student portal can now have access to the Moodle program and the Moodle courses. The university will carry out continuous surveys, and if a student is no longer legally a student, then she or he will no longer have access to the Moodle courses. So, as you can see, this is a huge change. Number two, there will also be the requirement that at the end of the term, every Moodle course will be compulsorily archived and it has to be renewed by the instructor, which means that a student or the instructor or anybody cannot unilaterally do anything anymore. It also forces instructors to renew the Moodle course at the end of every term, which means you also have to make sure that all the material is up to date and there is no scope for redundancy. Data synchronization takes place at the university level and it will be visible in your Moodle course as well. The implementation is, of course, based on the university's regulations for personal data processing and protection. Remember, these regulations are also based on legal requirements under Estonian state laws. The university's academic policy, because we are a public university, this means that it is also dependent on what the Ministry of Education in Estonia has declared as requirements. And also the Moodle course archiving policy. This is something to be very careful about because it gives the university the right to now decide how your Moodle course is accessed and what is done to deal with the continuation of the Moodle program. Just to be sure, in the European context, we have definitions of personal data, sensitive personal data, and private personal data. And this is something that we will talk about in more detail during our August seminar, where we will try to see how level 1, level 2, and level 3 e-learning standards of TalTech can be made relevant and useful for our Asian partners in their universities. So thank you for your time regarding this presentation. And well, I would like to see whether there is any any question or answer, anything. Well, I see there's nothing much here. There is a comment by Zach, of course, regarding blended learning and how to utilize Moodle. So thank you for your time. And this was my brief presentation regarding this particular topic. And well, we still have some time for questions and answers now. And I'll be happy to answer anything either now or maybe after this next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pawan. So, it's important, isn't it, to have this top-down kind of policy on encouraging, all educators to actually use Moodle, yeah, in your institution. How about bottom up, Pawan? Is there anything like initiative, perhaps reward you gave to the educators?
Initially, there was another European Union funded project whereby every instructor who attained a certain level of a Moodle program, course, whatever, got a cash incentive. It was 1,000 euros per Moodle course. And as a young instructor 15 years ago, I was able to get three of my Moodle courses labeled as such. And so I got this cash incentive. So a lot of instructors were given money in that context, again, from the European Union funded project. But this was just for 5 or 6 years. After that, it became compulsory. So now, of course, it is a legal requirement. If you do not have a Moodle course as an instructor, then your services can be terminated. So earlier there was a carrot approach, but now there is a stick approach. And if your course is not only prevalent and user friendly, but also is not highly rated by students, then that can have an adverse impact on the instructor's career model. So this is what is being done now.
It's quite similar to ours. Just to share with everyone. I think some of the institution here just started using Moodle. So if you want to encourage your staff, your academician especially, I mean, Dr. Pawan has shared how is it like, in Caltech. While in UTM, we started with integrating 30% of e-learning where every academician, we can monitor them via the system. They must at least post one, let's say, notes or information, the course information. And then they have to post 7 resources. It can be a file, a book, a notes, whatever, recording of their own video, at least 7. And then they have to perform 3 activities in the Moodle system. They can perform a feedback forum, name it anything, lessons, surveys, and at least they have to conduct 2 assessment, quiz, assignments, and so forth. So this is how we started. But now, quite similar to Teltech. It becomes like a stick and carrot, isn't it? Now, if they are not doing this, the head of department will call them up because we are attached to the Ministry of Education. The ministry, we gain report whether we have applied all this or not. If we're not, we're gonna be on the bad list, the naughty list, of the ministry. But just to share with everyone, this is how we started. Now it has become more than this. Since everyone has already applied this, now we are looking at the active engagement. Okay, it goes further. So I think after this, Dr. Norashikin also will share how we can make our Moodle, or we call it e-learning in UTM, more engaging. Yeah. Um, so basically what I meant by that, we have to do assignment, like this is the look of our e-learning. We have to post at least one course information for the students. So once we have fulfilled all this, the system gonna extract all this, for us, and they will tell us whether we have achieved the blended learning level or not. So that's how it is. So it's all been systemized in UTM. You can't run away, and you cannot say that you did, but you didn't do it. Okay. So any question for Dr. Pawan so far? Okay. If that's the case, I think Dr. Pawan going to share with us more. There's another one session, yeah, Dr. Pawan, in August. We'll let everybody know. And now, Dr. Norashikin, are you there? Thank you, Dr. Pawan. Maybe you can stay around, if just in case there's any questions for you later. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Zack, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. You want me to share my slide now?
Yes, please. You can actually start now. I also have shared the link to the slides earlier. All of you can just click on the link and download, all the slide that we have uploaded. I will share the link again. As for the e-certification, I apologize. Just now, when you fill in, there was a glitch in the system. Would be great if you can fill in the form again so that we can see your institution names, on the certificate. Thank you. Back to you, Dr. Norashikin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Zaleha. Wait. Can you see my slide in the slideshow?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, good evening, everyone. So thank
Yeah.
you for coming to this session. So this slide, this topic will be on engagement strategies in Moodle. So I'm going to share with you about the best practices for enhancing engagement. So as Dr. Zach shared with us before, so we have the same LMS system, I mean the models for UTM. So I'm going to show with you a few like activities that have been done. Okay, before I'm continue with the session, so I think you already learn about this model before, so you already heard from Dr. Pawan. Okay, so I'm going to straightforward to my content. So this is slido.com. So I hope that I can have something from you to share on how do you define or envision student engagement in learning. So can you scan the QR code or maybe type in the URL slido.com and enter the PIN number?
Okay. Can do it.
Do you want me to share the link, Dr. Shikin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Please, Dr. Zach, just type in slido.com.
Yeah, we can do it.
Okay. Okay, one participants typing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see on the screen, students are active and do most of the class work. All right, okay, maybe a few more respond.
Okay, thank you.
So assignment. So do you hope that student will complete their assignment? Maybe. So they will do all the assignment that has been assigned for the class, especially to score for the courses. Yes, we also hope that student will answer all the quizzes, all the maybe assessment, okay, that we create in the Moodle.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know, but my first one is in the sentence. Reading the document citation.
Okay, reading and do comprehensive tests.
Mm.
Okay, so
Similar
as long as what that
to-
we prepared in the model, so we hope that they can do all the
Yes.
activities. Okay, great. So, okay, so engagement is not only on self-learning, so maybe we hope that there will be peers learning. Okay, of
Mm.
course, must be active learning. Okay, so we hope that all the students participate in our
Mhm.
classroom. Okay, great. So, okay, feedback, yes. Okay, we really, actually, it's not actually student that need the feedback. No, lecturer need the feedback. So, of course, student also need feedback from us as a teachers. Okay, to give some maybe response to what they have done. All right, okay, thank you. So, I will continue. So, thank you for those response. Okay, so the importance of engagement. So why engagement matters during teaching and learning process? So we hope that actually when we know that student actually engage in the classroom, so they is actually complete their lesson. So we hope that student when they attend the class, So we hope that they will increase their learning retention. So we also hope that students will boost their motivation. Okay, not only just attend and do all the assignment. So we hope that they also motivate, okay, to learn more about the content of the subject. Okay, another that we hope that it can reduce the dropout rates. Okay, sometimes we know that students, a few students that actually not complete their study, so maybe they will drop from the course or maybe drop from the study. So by make sure that they are engaged in the classroom, we hope that, of course, the student can enhance their performance and score for the subject. All right, so other point is we hope that with the engagement happen in the classroom, it will support the collaborative learning among the students and also in the learning management system in our Moodle. We hope that we as a teacher can also facilitate timely feedback to the student and of course to improve the course quality and promotes lifelong learning attitude. Okay, so I hope that you can send again, okay? Share again your point of view. So what are the challenge that you face when trying to engage student in the model? Sometimes we plan for them to have like a very active learning, but sometimes it didn't go as planned. Okay, so I want to know what are the challenges that you face during the classroom. Okay, three participants are typing. Internet coverage. Okay, of course, I think that we cannot like solve very quickly because of the facilities. Okay, lack of interest in the topic. Okay. Next, different level of student. Yes. Okay, student didn't want to participate, didn't send feedback. Inactive student, mixed level of using Moodle. Okay, I'm not sure how in your university that they're trying to force students to use LMS, but as in UTM, so all the lecturers must use the LMS, we call that e-learning. So once that they are familiar, I think there will be no problem. Okay, another challenge. Student wants to play rather than learn. Oh, okay, when apply gamification. Right, because you know that, yeah, we have like different like behavior of the student, different knowledge of the student, different skill of among the student. All right, okay, thank you for the response. Okay, so all the challenges that you shared just now, so we can categorize that into 4 categories. So the first one is passive participation. All right. Sometimes we cannot like control all the passive participation that do not want to like do all the activities that we have planned. Okay, so the second category is motivation and self-discipline issue. Okay, and then the third one is technological barriers. Like someone mentioned just now that because the internet problem, okay, maybe they don't have the like a good maybe laptop or computers to use. Okay, then limited peer interaction. So this is all the 4 challenges type or category that I found. Okay, then how we as a teacher want to use Moodle to support the engagement. Okay, so we going to use these 4 elements. So the first one is motivation tools. The second one is interactive contents. We can prepare the interactive contents. Then the third one is collaborative activities to make sure that all students involved in the learning. And then the last one is the communication tools. Okay, for the type of engagement, if we look into the foundation of the engagement, so we can categorize or identify them under 4 main types. So the first one is behavioral engagement. Second one is cognitive engagement. The third one is emotional or affective. And then the fourth one is the social engagement. So the key strategies that I'm going to share with you under the behavioral engagement strategies. First, we can use activity completion tracking. Okay. So these features already in our Moodle system, our Moodle platform. Okay, then we also can set the clear deadline for the student to complete all the assignment or maybe the project or quizzes. Okay, then we can also provide with the reminders and also the countdown blocks. Okay, then the third one, we can provide gamified learning. So with this gamified learning, I'm not sure whether you have used before or heard about the badges. So maybe we can also implement badges as the element under gamified learning. And we also can provide the completion certificate or maybe leaderboards. Okay, then the fourth one, we can, one of the strategies to enable checklists. So to-do list for weekly tasks. Okay, next is under the emotional engagement strategies. Okay, I have provided here 4 strategies. So first one is the personalized dashboard. So maybe we can provide their names, okay, and then put a welcoming message. Okay, the second one, we can use icebreaker and social forum. This one just for the beginning of the class. So maybe we want to make sure that all the students maybe familiar with the Moodle system, Moodle platform, and also maybe try to ask them to keep log in and explore the Moodle. Okay, then we can also add multimedia elements because if our Moodle is or LMS is very like plain, just like text only, then one color, so that might be boring. Okay, so we can add some of the multimedia elements to make sure that it's more interactive for students to explore. Okay, we also can provide timely and encouraging feedbacks via comments or message. All right, next is the key strategies under cognitive engagement. So the first one, we can incorporate the H5P activities, the interactive video, and maybe also drag and drop under the H5P videos. And maybe we can also provide the quizzes. Okay, then we can actually use the real world scenarios. Of course, this one, I think because we want the students to learn something that actually happened or something that related to their real world scenario. So we can provide this kind of a scenario in their assignment and also in the discussion section. Okay, then we can also enable glossaries, wikis, or journals. That one, you can also find that in our Moodle platform. So this can be used for the student to get the student reflection and also to make sure that the student can give like feedback to us, all right? And then the last one, we can add branching scenarios or case-based learning using lesson activities. Okay, then the fourth category is under social engagement strategies. So we can use discussion forum. Okay, we can guide with guided prompts and peer reply requirements. We can also assign group project. So make sure that they can collaborate between groups. Okay, and then we can enable peer assessment. Okay, using the workshop tool, and then encourage group messaging or chat activities. So for the engagement metrics in Moodle, okay, we can track actually student activities, how many times they log in, when is the last date or time they log into the Moodles. So, we can also track about their activity completion, forum participation, and also time they spend on certain tasks. So this is kind of the something that we can monitor our student. So our objective here is actually to explore what are the other strategies that we can use to enhance learner engagement in the Moodle platform. So normally we can provide the lesson, the interactive lesson. We can provide assignment to the student to refer to, or maybe we can also add quizzes. Okay, then we can provide forum for active discussion to get participation from the students. We can also use the H5P interactive video, and then we can have the analytic report on the student student participation, and also we can also message student in the Moodle platform. So I'm going to show you how to use forum for engagement. So normally lecturers tend to use the simple forum for in the Moodle system, in the Moodle platform. Okay, for this one, okay, this is the simple forum that the standard forum that we can add in our Moodle, where we can just put the title, okay, and then we give the instruction for the student, okay, what to do, okay, for this forum. Okay, on the left side, you can see this is the like tips or guideline for you when you want to provide or to prepare forum discussion in the Moodle. So what you can do is you can prepare the forum title. Okay, then you can add the purpose of the forum. Okay, then the third one, you can address what are the learning outcomes. Okay, then you can also add the forum type. Okay, normally this one, the setting that we must choose when we create the forum. And then we can also, like in our instruction, we can also craft engaging and open-ended prompts, not only just like one or two line of instruction. Okay, so we also must stated our expectation for this forum, and we must set the timing and also integration when the forum will open. Okay, and also encourage and facilitate interaction. So we guide the student when someone already posts, maybe we can also give feedback. Okay, so this is actually the better version if you want to provide the or create the forum section. So if you're looking at this one compared to the previous one, so here we put the title. Okay, so the emerging trends in educational technology. So what's next? So we hope that students can post or share their ideas in this forum section. So we state when the due for this for this forum. So here, like here, we put Tuesday on the 5th August and what time. Okay, then number 2, we need to put the purpose of the forum. So just clearly stated that in the forum details. So you can add to explore student understanding of current and future trends. So you just put the purpose of this forum. Okay, then we can address the learning outcomes. So as you can see here, I put learning outcome 1. So this forum also can cover for learning outcome 3. Okay, then we include the instruction, the detailed instruction to the student. For example, choose one emerging technology, okay, and discuss how it could transform teaching or learning in the next 5 years. Okay, so we ask the student to support their views with examples or research. Okay, and then we also can provide the participation guideline. Okay, for example, we can ask the student to post one original response between 150 to 200 words, okay, by this weekend, okay, and then we ask the student, okay, to reply to at least 2 classmate forum, okay, by next week's. Okay, so we can see that it's not only just one what you call that one way of interaction. So you can get response or their peers to respond to their input. So it's very helpful, this one. So you as a teacher can just monitor, or maybe you can also give feedback, okay, in this forum discussion. Okay, so we also can guide them to use respectful and academic language when they want to post in this forum, and maybe we can advise them to cite sources, okay, if maybe they refer to any article of or research done before. Okay, so this is where you can in our Moodle platform, where you can actually choose the forum type, okay, and then the availability, where you can set the due date and also the cut-off date for the forum. Okay, so so before this, I show you is what we call that standard forum. Okay, so other than standard forum, you can actually integrate with other apps outside from the Moodle, and you can embed the apps in your Moodle. Okay, this is apps that we call Miro, Miro. Okay, you can see that it can appear in your Moodle. Okay, this is the menu on the left side, and this is our content for our Moodle. So another one, you can also add or embed Padlet. Okay, so you can see that our Moodle are more interactive. If not, it's only appear as a text-based content. So by including this or embed these apps or this software, it can make your model more interesting for the student to explore. Okay. Okay, right. So that's just now is how you can use forum, okay, to make sure that you can make sure that student engage during the forum during the learning process. So next we can use quizzes, okay, and immediate feedback. So this is quizzes that we can include in our Moodle platform. So for example, here we can just give like very minimum marks, okay, for them to answer this quiz. For example, you just give like maybe just 5 questions or maybe 3 questions, just like a very small numbers of question for them to answer, right? So for example, this is involve 15 question under the quiz for the animate. All right, so student have to answer this, and when we create this quiz in our model, so it can like give the feedback after they complete answer the quizzes. So I think this is one type of the not assessment, like one type of activity that student love, okay, to involve, okay, because they can get a quick response. Okay, then we can also, okay, involve or include gamified assessment and badges in our Moodle platform. So other than the one that outside from the Moodle, like quizzes, Puzzle, Kahoot, ClassPoint, and Nearpod. So we have a lot of others assessment, okay, that can be used. But when we talk now, we are talking about something that we can provide in the Moodle. Okay, so this is if you want to use badges, okay, in your Moodle, so you can add these features, which you can find this under navigation. Okay, so under navigation, you can find badges under your code subject, right? So you, for these badges, okay, you need to create the badges, okay, before you can use or give that to your student. So these badges, you need to have the icon or the badges, okay, then you need to name or give the details for the badges. Okay, and for example, then you can like set the criteria when the badges will be award to the student. So for example, here, let me see here. Okay, right? I put the badges for complete activities. Guess for those that have complete activities, for this one, maybe I just ask for them to at least read the course information and also read the assignment details, for example, as basic like that. So if they already open or maybe complete the activity, they will automatically award with the badges. So if you can see on the left side, okay, for example, this is the student, one of the student name in my class, Fatini. So she will receive these badges, okay, complete activity. You can see this, what color this? Badges under badges section. So she received the badges after she complete the activity. Okay, so we can have more badges like this. You can either create your own badges or you can just import or use the badges that are already available. Okay, but just make sure that you use under or find that under Creative Commons license. Okay, so there will be no issues. Okay. So next, what you can do, we can also use the H5P interactive video. Okay, this H5P, it need like effort from the teachers to prepare this one. For example, like this one, I get the video. You can just search for the video, the available video. So then, for example, the lesson is about the gardening. So during watching the video, student on maybe on certain times, so there will be like a question appear, okay, where student cannot continue watching the video if they didn't answer, for example, the multiple choice question, or maybe if the text entry question, if they didn't respond or answer the question, then they cannot like finish or complete or watching the video. So this kind of video is not actually need a very big effort from you, but or of course, when you want to create this one, so you need to spend maybe like an hour to provide or prepare this interactive video. Okay, next, you can also use or create polls and survey in the Moodle. Okay, for this one, maybe you can choose, for example, this here, you can see that I just asked the student to choose topic for their project. So maybe we can just give a few options so they can like vote which topic that they want. Okay, so this is one of the like interactive activity that you can provide in your Moodle, just to ask for the topic, to select topic for their assignment or project. Okay, next is the hands-on task or assignment. So this is the common one that I think most of the lecturer will create this one in your Moodle platform, right? So I'm not prepared the screen for that. Okay, so that's all the tools and activity that you can create in your Moodle. And then I'm going to share with you the online learning activity plan for our classroom in the Moodles. For example, our objective, you want the student to understand the basic image concept. For example, to know about the format, okay, the resolution of the images, and when they can use the image and apply simple image editing tasks. And then the total duration may be 40 minutes, but if you can get maybe 15 to 20 minutes, much better. So no need to be like a very long activities. Okay, and then this one I put it or create in Moodle, for the Moodle. Okay, so you can see here, this is the table, like the plan, okay, where you can for the first 5 minutes, maybe you can just give the welcome message. Okay, and then provide or ask the student to upload their favorite image. Okay, then for the next 5 minutes, okay, you can ask the student to watch a short video, okay, on image types, okay, and of course, this one, if you're not going to provide the interactive video, maybe you can just give the link to any video or YouTube, okay, YouTube video. And then you can, for the next 5 minutes, you can ask the student, all right, to answer the quiz in the Moodle platform. Okay, so maybe just like 3 or 5 MCQ question, okay, to make sure that they are actually active, okay, during the lesson. Okay, then the next 10 minutes, okay, here you can start or you can ask student, okay, to do like a very brief task. Okay, for example, here you give them free access to any online image editor where they can resize or crop images and upload it, okay, to the assignment section. Okay, next, after the hands-on task, okay, you can continue with the group discussion. Okay, this one happen, everything, all of this happen in the Moodle system, Moodle platform. Okay, so you can ask the student discuss in the forum where they can, you can prompt with the why do image quality and size matter in social media posts of our website. So just give a very like simple instruction, okay? Then after the group discussion, you can continue with the peer review. So we can ask the student to give feedback on their other friends' input. Okay, and then you can wrap up and then give your reflection. Right, so this is happen in 40 minutes, maybe plus minus 5 minutes. Okay, so if you can like provide this like lesson plans, so I think it's much easier for you to conduct or prepared the content or activities in your Moodle. Okay. So this next slide, this one is okay. This is actually the I do some like literature review on student participation and learning outcomes. So how do interactive features in the Moodle platform impact student participation and learning outcome in higher education courses? So this is the finding. Okay, I'm looking on the education setting. For example, the study conducted in a higher education setting, and then they use Moodle, okay, as their primary learning management system. Okay, then I also look into the study, investigate the interactive Moodle features such as forum, quizzes, workshop, or wikis. And then the outcome that they discuss in their article, whether they the study measure either the student participation metrics or learning outcomes. Okay, then for the study design, whether is the study either an empirical investigation, okay, or maybe just systematic review or meta-analysis. And then for the data analysis, whether the model specified result reported, okay, in the article or maybe separately. And then for the participant focus, whether the article include the student outcomes. Okay, so this is the finding. Okay, from how many studies? 2, 4, 6, around 8, 10, 10. Okay, 10 studies. So we found this. Okay, for the interactive features type that they use in their study, in their research. Okay, online quizzes. Okay, then we can see the gamification, simulation, forum. Okay, if you look into the first one, for example, this study only used the online quizzes and the feedback. So the performance metrics here is quiz grade, time spent, and final exam grade. So from the study or from the research, they found that it actually can improve student grade and also reduce learning time. Okay, so this is all the finding. Okay, from the same scope of the research. Okay, next, how we want to keep student engaged in Moodle. So we can do, what we can do is maybe we can create the interactive lesson, not just like we provide the PDF or maybe link to the website. Okay, then we can also use gamification in our Moodle platform. Okay, then we also can use labels. Okay, not just like only text, simple text. We can like maybe put categories, put labels in our Moodle platform. Okay, and then we can also incorporating with multimedia elements such as video, audio, images. Okay, and then we can also provide with the micro learning modules. Means that it's not like very maybe we can just provide with the subtopic. Okay, so very like not much learning will take place in each module. It just like a very quick learning. Okay, then chunking content for clarity. We can also do the personalized learning path for the student. And we can try to navigate, do the simplification on the Moodle navigation. And we can also use soft glossaries and wikis and also SCORM and interactive packages. Maybe we are not going to like do all. Okay, maybe just try to add a few like a good practice when you create or design your Moodle. Okay, then for the future trends in Moodle engagement, maybe we can explore this later. So of course, we can look into the artificial intelligence in the Moodle, and also maybe we can provide adaptive learning in our Moodle platform. Okay, so the summary of the key strategies. So back to from the first slide that I show you just now. So this falls into four key strategies where we need to look into the communication through our Moodle system, and of course the content that we prepared in our LMS. Then the activities that we provide to make sure that they keep engaged when they explore our Moodle, okay? And then of course the tools that we use to make sure that we can provide the interactive learning in the Moodle. Okay, so that's all. Thank you. Back to Dr. Zach.
Thank you, Dr. Narashikin, for the sharing. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? We are so eager to use all this advanced technology, yet, even the basic ones, sometimes we can't apply them properly. It's quite interesting. And for example, yeah, just recently, we are teachers and we are also researcher. And from my current research, Dr. Narashikin, I did invent, or I did develop an AI platform to help with my students who try to get fast feedback or prompt feedback. Maybe I can share with all of you. I think Dr. Norashikin just now has shared plenty of tools, AI tools, yeah, which we all can use, and we can have more of this later, yeah, in our second webinar that we're going to conduct in August. However, when talking about the use of learning management system, I think from my current research, student find the most important parts is for them to get feedback, even as simple as let me just share, yeah. Okay, if you can see, this is the LMS of one of my classes, yeah. When they post their work here, we as teacher can provide, feedback directly to them, the scoring they get, above 15, for example. So this is the part where they really appreciate when we give them overall feedback, and we are very transparent on how the scoring are, how do they score, which is the weakness and which is the strength of their work. So they appreciate this part very much, based on the study that I've just conducted. And I hope that we all can implement this. Of course, most teacher will say, oh my God, it's so much work. Yeah, that's why we are teachers. That is why we bear this responsibility, because we need to teach them properly. Yeah. So this is just an example that I shared, and many more. We're going to do that later in our webinar in August. But for now, is there any questions perhaps from the floor, from participant? Anyone? Okay. Are you happy with listening to the sharing? Thumbs up.
Yeah, Dr. Zack, I think at first I thought that I would like to maybe share how to do the step by step in the Moodle, but it will take some more time. So maybe we can do that later.
Yeah, we have plenty more webinars and workshops, we can conduct. Even during the conference, we're going to discuss with our Sabah team on what to offer. But can we hear from the participant, what would be your expectation when it comes to Moodle? Because I know some of the institutions are quite advanced, in Cambodia and Laos when using LMS. So what exactly do you expect us to share perhaps in the future? Anybody could share?
Maybe if I could say something here, I think one of the biggest challenges for us now is the use of Chat GPT and all of these things. I mean, last term it already was very visible and very apparent, and I think it sort of puts everything out of the window now because you see, I mean, we have assignments and students upload these assignments, so suddenly they have zero value. As a parent, I have teenage children, so I know what they also do. Yeah, so this is something that really is going to cause a lot of issues for us because if we cannot trust the student, I mean, even if 2 out of 5 or 8, whatever, I mean, the numbers are there, do this thing, it takes all of our efforts completely out of the picture. In Taltech, we tried to come up with some software, plagiarism software, but it's not successful as such. So this is something that we really have to be very careful about. So I wanted to see what your opinions are on these things.
Yeah, I mean, any of you face the same issue as us? Yeah, we have Bonarin from NUM.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good evening from Cambodia. Well, I have been listening to you casually, but what I'm trying to raise here is to tell you that it's my first time to join this network, and I'm currently in charge of the online course production. So it's the right place that I had to learn from you. But one thing that I expected from this, these kinds of online workshop and seminar, I think it's too long to catch up 1 hour running go on like this. So that we need to have interaction so that we can move on, with enthusiasm and interest. And this is one I just feedback for next online in August, so that we can interact with the participants. Right? Yeah, I need to stop and then we can discuss together. I think it's one thing because online is too long, it might lose interest. One thing that I like to talk about the online teaching in Cambodia. At the moment, Cambodia has we call Cambodian cyber university network, where we all together as the members to produce the online for the programs, courses such as undergraduate and graduate programs. So in this stage, normally it seems to be like on the early stage to produce, online classes like that. Therefore, we need to learn from you, especially myself in charge of that cyber program development. I'm not sure whether we have any, face-to-face short training so that we can explore more and can we have interact more than online like that. I know your plan is in August and October, 2 more online training courses like that. But anyone say we should have a face-to-face train somewhere else, so we would like to apply for this, opportunity, and we can meet and discuss more like that. This is my request. Thanks back to you. Right? Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Bonorin. It's a pleasure for us to come to Cambodia again. Perhaps we've been to Cambodia previously. Maybe this time we can work hand in hand with ITC. Yeah, I think there's a lot of expert from ITC already. If you're interested to have certain type of training, we can discuss further to have that physically. Yeah, but as for other two of our workshop, we just have to conduct them online due to some circumstances. We'll take note of what you've just mentioned. where in August, yeah, Dr. Pawan, we're gonna have more interaction. We're looking to gain participation from representative of each of university, where they will share what they have implemented, yeah, when it comes to Moodle and e-learning practices. Yeah, thank you for that. As for the one in Sabah in October, Mr. Bonarin, uh, we will encourage all of our members to share, their finding, especially when to do with digital transformation research. So perhaps we can learn something from everyone during October. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. But Mr. Bonarin, can I just clarify, in your university, in NUM,
Yeah.
you're saying you have applied Moodle, yeah?
Well, it's kind of sort of that, but we are in the early stage, so we don't have much on that one. And one more thing that we are in the process of purchasing more so that we can put on the platform. So as I would say before that we are now on the early stage of the Moodles and online courses production as well. So we have a long way to go with this thing, and it's a part of our school vision. So we need to move aggressively toward to that, kinds of teaching and learning platform.
So do you
So
have the policy, the guideline, as how I showed just now, how to make Moodle interactive? Do you have such guidelines?
actually, we don't have any, we call guidelines, but we just try to do internally with the CCUN, the network I wrote there.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to work with the ITC to produce more courses online like that. And as I mentioned, we like some, some facility and also the technical staff to work on the online platform teaching like that. So the first stage is to get me involved as well as and just move in for 2 months to work on the cyber program development. So I need to, get all those things from, from ITC as well as from the network at LAN as well, so that we can have more, contribution to developing of the online teaching platform in our school, university, NUM. Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think you will find the 3 modules useful. For your
Mm,
information, what we're having now
mm,
today is to do with Module B, the second module.
mhm,
It's more for educators to use e-learning,
mhm,
to integrate certain pedagogical approaches.
mhm,
We have talked about this before, the previous workshop. If you want more
mhm,
information on it, you can always go to the link that I've shared, the OER.
mhm,
We've teach them how to integrate certain models of pedagogy, it's
mhm,
quite detailed. But for today, actually, it's more of Moodle technical parts.
mhm,
But in our project, we emphasize if you
mhm,
want to be successful in integrating all this technology in your university, there
mhm,
must be 3 important components, starting
mhm,
with the digital leadership. Your
okay.
your leader, even your
Yeah.
vice, your rector, your vice chancellor have to be what do you call,
Mm,
knowledgeable, well equipped in this.
good.
So
Yeah.
for module A, that's where we touch on that.
Okay.
But today is
Mm.
all about module B. And then,
Oh.
yeah. So we have module C, another one, yeah.
Mm.
So there's 3 modules actually. Um,
Mm.
to give more, details on this, feel free to I shared just now, right? The modules. Did you
Mm.
get it in the chat section? There's
Mm.
3 modules. Let me just share with you. Yeah, if you go to our website, for the rest, maybe I can share as well. Okay, bear with me. I mean, if you go to our website, this is the DXC website.
Yeah, I'm checking when
Yeah,
you.
there's 3 modules. Yeah,
Yeah.
English,
Okay.
Khmer, Laotian,
Yeah.
and we have
Okay.
even them in video. So
Mm.
if you go to
English.
English,
Okay.
yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. To
Okay.
change, to have a
Mm,
change in the institution, it
mm,
doesn't come only from the teacher, yeah.
yeah.
So
Mm,
it needs to the top management needs to play their role.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Now then only comes the teachers and the
Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
So if you can also produce your own policy or produce your own guideline by referring to these modules.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Dr. Pawan, he's
Yeah.
specifically into looking into this
Right.
one.
Yeah.
I think if you read his writing,
That's right.
he shared about the ethical parts, the
Right. Right.
the law comes to there's
Right.
law in integrating
Mm,
the LMS, so it's
yeah.
quite
Yeah.
useful, I hope, after you read all these modules. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I think so also anyway, the Tobacco University, Hazeman Tobacco University for referring to the group, and actually I'm not too much technical level, so I
Mm.
think it's good that you guided me to those courses like that. We need to move from the digital leadership like that, okay, yeah, and to
Yeah.
the technical levels as well.
True. And you
Mm,
can also read at the
mm,
publication part.
mm,
We have
mm,
conducted study already
mm,
comparing between Laos,
mm,
Cambodia, and Malaysia.
mm,
So we produce this comprehensive report, or maybe you can also learn
mm.
something from this report,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So do explore a lot. There's so
Mm,
many
yeah.
resources you can get from here. Like
Ah, yeah.
for today,
Mm,
this
Malaysia.
we have uploaded here, yeah. This is what
Yeah.
I meant just now.
Mm,
We've talked about different approaches, so
mm,
all we have uploaded in here. If you
mm,
don't prefer them in English, you can
mm,
also get resources from our
mm,
partner, the
mm,
rest.
mm,
This is not the stop, because we have more
mm,
workshop and seminar where we shall upload, the materials
mm.
later.
Yeah. It's the first time to join face to face, online with you, and I hope I can learn more on this benefit for my university.
Sure, sure. Feel free to
Oh,
use the
yeah. Okay.
materials, yeah?
Well,
Thank you, Mr.
okay. Thank
Bonari.
you. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Anyone who would like to share your expectation, perhaps, where we can assist you with? No one? Okay. It's 5 already in Malaysia. I believe it's 4 in Laos, Cambodia.
Uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
in the chat section, I think there is one question regarding your comments on Chat GPT.
Okay. Is it from AI Last Star, is it? That using ChatGPT in teaching and perhaps embed GPT domain specific in the LMS, how do you think it would help students from really engage in their cognitive skills rather than absorbing without much critical thinking in the process? Interesting. We all have that issue, isn't it? Maybe I can share. In my case, I'm teaching graphic design, and my concern more to do with creativity. So although the student have fully utilized AI images in producing their graphic design, but before they come to that, we as the teacher have to encourage them to think critically first, isn't it? Then only they get to know on how to combine all of these resources, even the AI, to produce better design. In order to help them with that, okay, I have to understand what's the problem. Is it motivation? What is it before they can become creative? And for your information, there are a lot of strategy in helping them out. Like you said just now, your issue, your concern is critical thinking, isn't it? So allow them to use AI technology, yet without proper teaching and learning strategy, they will misuse that AI. So as teacher, if your concern is critical thinking, maybe you can use problem-based learning approach. You know, okay, let me share with you. If you look at studies to do with your concern is critical thinking, yeah, let me just go to, if you're familiar with Google Scholar, all of us are quite familiar with Google Scholar. There are a lot of strategy. Let's say your problem just now, you said you want student to think critically. Let's say critical thinking, yeah. So you can search in, let's say, learning strategies. There's a lot of learning strategy out there you can use to promote critical thinking while using AI tools. Okay, but the strategy must be there. If you don't have this strategy, you cannot monitor them properly and you cannot guide them properly in think critically. Okay, they will end up just imitating, you know, whatever there is in this world rather than think critically. So some researcher already apply active learning. Some others, you can have a look and try it out. Maybe you want to apply creative active learning. Some other have applied so many other strategy. You know, if you look at this like problem-based a lot, I've noticed a lot of educators apply problem-based learning. But first step is for you to understand truly what do you mean by problem-based learning and how to apply them strategically. Then only you can solve the problem of those students thinking critically. I hope that answer the question. AI Lastar. They didn't reply. And when I said just now, what do you mean by, okay, let's say, if you have chosen one strategy. Normally, being teacher, we said we have applied the strategy, but we did not apply them properly. There's so many models in the world. When you apply problem-based learning, you must ensure that, for example, students, okay, this is traditional. Students are assigned a problem. You must give them real world problem. Student identify what they need to know to solve. You must provide, you know, the materials on how to solve for them to solve the problem. This is where they can use the AI perhaps, you know. Student learn and apply to solve the problem. So there are stages, and normally being teachers, sometimes we did not follow the stages properly. This is the issue with us teachers, even myself, you know. We did not follow all these processes properly. Therefore, it affected our students in thinking critically. Okay, and we blame the AI for it. But for the matter of fact, we did not apply this process properly. So if you want to know further about this, one of the webinar we did on pedagogical approaches, you can have a look at it, yeah, with the link I've shared just now. So AI Lastar, I hope that's clear, yeah? Okay, thank you. Maybe my colleagues would like to add anything? Dr. Pawan, Dr. Yunushikin?
Well, it's a very ongoing sort of situation now. What we are developing in Caltech is a policy whereby maybe AI is not the villain, and even for using in works, as long as students cite that they have used AI and what prompts and what commands were given, then that can be also utilized as a valid source material. But again, you see, this is a very developing situation. And what's also happening is, like we had a French student who was defending his thesis, and the language of the thesis made it sound as if this was a product of Chat GPT or some other language model system, large scale language learning model system. But then it turned out that because he was French, he had used this LMS system to translate properly everything from French to English. So this is not classical plagiarism in that sense anymore. But of course, you see, how do you even determine this? But because it was a thesis presentation, so we had a 30-minute presentation. So after his presentation and question and answer session, we understood that he knows what he is talking about. And it's possible that he used this large language model LLM system just to translate properly the language parts. So you see, again, there are so many layers coming up now, and it's making things very complicated. The problem for us as educators is, our job is to inform students that if you are going to use Chat GPT for everything, then why would somebody hire you? I mean, they could just hire Chat GPT. And that is going to be the challenge for the next coming years, because a lot of students just stop thinking and they just use Chat GPT or whatever else. So this is going to be a big challenge for us now.
Yeah. Whatever comes, now we're talking about ChatGPT. In the future, there's going to be extended reality, more and more new technologies coming in, isn't it? So it's a concern for us all. Even my student, they know how to use what we call undetectable.ai. So whatever you taken from the web, from the AI, you can just paste it in there and I cannot detect them at all. Okay, but either using Turnitin software or any software, we cannot detect them. So the argument with when we go to conferences, people are arguing about this again and again. So I think with the age of AI, the more important assessment now becomes. So, we started to have presentation in all of our assessment. Having a report is no longer enough. Having a submission of just report is no longer valid. There must be in the course, there must be a presentation at the end. There must be project-based approach. There must be problem-based approach at the end. Because if we follow the structure of those approaches, at the end of the day, we are able to monitor the process and we're able to monitor the end product, you see. So the concern is more of the teacher itself. Back to that, whether you're going to do those processes or not, you just have to. Even more crucial at the assessment part. You can tell the students are not the one doing the work when they presented that, final outcome. So I think, yeah, more studies are looking into valid assessment for, using the AI technology these days. Maybe that is something where we should look into. Yeah, interesting. Well, thank you. Thank you for what do you call the feedback there. Uh any more one last question perhaps from the floor? Or what do you expect next from us, from our sharing session next, maybe? No? Okay. So it's almost 5:30 here. Thank you so much, Dr. Pawan, Dr. Narshikin, for your time, willingness to share, with us all. May God bless you with abundance of knowledge so you can share more in the future. It comes with a good health and good brain. Um, to those who have not, fill in the form just now, I did ask you to fill in again. Apologize for that. We have a glitch in the system just now. So you didn't get a proper certificate with your institution name. So I did ask you to fill in again. And hopefully by now you can get the full certificate. Yeah. If you still have problem, let us know. We can send the certificate manually to you after this. If there's no more, so we'll inform you of next session. We'll email you again, and looking forward to more knowledge sharing after this. So thank you all for your attention. See you next time. Have a pleasant day, pleasant evening. Thank you, Pawan.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.